25 million subscribers, 3.5 billion views. This channel is in the top 300 on a platform that has over 150 million channels on it. And they did all of that while posting about 2 videos a month, usually less than that. There are more than 70 people working on it in an office in Munich, Germany. Artists, animators, researchers, writers. One 12-minute video can take months to make. A few of them have taken years because the research just kept going. Their biggest video has almost 90 million views. They also sell a paper calendar every year, which sounds like a strange thing to sell in 2026, and the 10th edition of it sold out completely. Then this summer, YouTube's own systems looked at all of that and decided a computer had made it. I'll come back to that. But first you need to know what this channel actually did, because on paper none of it should have worked. It started in Munich back in 2013. A guy named Philipp Detmer came from a design background. Information design, which basically means taking something complicated and figuring out how to show what it looks like. He called the channel Kurzgesagt, which is a German word that means something like in a nutshell. The channel showed up on YouTube on July 9th, 2013. 2 days later, they posted the first video. It was called How Evolution Works. That first year, they put out 6 videos. The next year, 15. The year after that, 16. Think about that for a second. 16 videos in a year. Every single piece of advice anyone gives creators says to do the opposite. Post a lot. Post on a schedule. Keep feeding the algorithm. If you disappear for 6 weeks, people forget about you. Kurzgesagt disappeared for 6 weeks all the time, sometimes longer, because a video wasn't ready yet. They broke the other big rule too. There's no face on the channel. The voice in every video belongs to Steve Taylor, who is a voice actor. He's not the founder. He's not somebody you'd recognize. Viewers liked him so much, they started calling him the voice of Kurzgesagt, and he works there full-time now. But there's still nobody at the center of the channel. No vlogs, no drama, no personality you can follow around. And that's supposed to be the whole thing that makes YouTube work. And then there's how they actually make the videos. The research on one video can take a few weeks, or it can take a few years. They read papers, they bring in real scientists to check their work. And when people ask them what takes the longest, the answer isn't the animation, which is what everybody assumes. It's the script. Writing something that's correct and complete and still makes sense to somebody who knows nothing about the topic takes rewrite after rewrite. The beautiful visuals are the easy part. The sentence that finally makes an idea click is the hard part. So they post rarely, there's no face, and their process would put a normal channel out of business. Why did the algorithm love them anyway? This is the part people usually get wrong. The recommendation system isn't judging quality. It doesn't know what effort is. It can't see 70 people or 18 months of reading. It's just a matching system. It's got a viewer and it's got a slot to fill, and it's asking one question: what will keep this person watching for the next 10 minutes? Effort is invisible to it. Retention isn't. And for about 12 years, there was no cheaper version of a Kurzgesagt video. Anybody could make a science explainer. Nobody could make that one. You could see one frame of it and know exactly what channel it was, and people would sit through 12 minutes about the immune system because it was actually enjoyable. So when the system had a curious person to entertain, there was basically one option, and there was no knockoff version of it anywhere. That's really the whole thing. They didn't beat the algorithm, they just made sure it had nothing else to offer. But you only get to be the only option if you survive long enough to become the only option. And this is the part nobody talks about. The reason Kurzgesagt could spend a year on one video is that they stopped needing the algorithm to pay the bills. Most creators go after brand deals. Kurzgesagt built their money around the people already watching. About 65% of what they make comes straight from their audience. Merch, Patreon, and ad revenue together are close to 2/3 of everything the company earns. And this isn't small stuff. The calendar is a real annual event for their fans, and the 10th edition came with a hardcover art book with 10 years of illustrations in it. In September 2025, they put out a game called Starbirds, made with the studio behind Dorfromantik. Detmer wrote a book about the immune system, and it sold extremely well. None of that is a side project. That's the foundation. It means a bad month on YouTube is annoying instead of terrifying. And look at what that lets you do. If you need a video out every Tuesday to make rent, you can't spend 14 months reading research papers. You just can't. You'll always pick the faster topic and the safer format, because you don't have room to be wrong about anything. Kurzgesagt bought themselves room to be wrong. They weren't trying to please the algorithm, they were paying for the ability to ignore it. That worked for about 12 years. Then things changed. In October 2025, they put out a video with a title that sounded like complaining and was actually a warning. AI slop is killing our channel. Generated videos, generated music, generated news articles, generated books, all pouring into the same place their work lives. And they tried the tools themselves. They ran the best AI research systems on real topics, and about a fifth of what came back was just made up. It sounded confident, it was written well, and it came from nowhere. A lot of the stuff that did have sources fell apart when they checked the sources. The worst part was that the flood looked like them. Copycat channels were pumping out AI versions of their style faster than anyone could deal with. 2 weeks later, the studio said it straight out. They'd quit before they'd make AI slop. Which brings us to the end of July 2026. They posted that something was wrong. It started small. Weird view numbers, one video doing worse than it should have. Then a video about microscopic super predators became the worst performing thing they'd posted since 2013. And here's what makes this a real story instead of just a bad month. The numbers from actual viewers were good. Click-through rate was above their normal average. Watch time was above average. The comments were positive. Everyone who saw it liked it. The problem was that hardly anyone saw it. The video wasn't failing with people. It just wasn't being shown to people. So they contacted YouTube, and YouTube told them what happened. The automatic tools that look for low-quality AI content had looked at hand-drawn animation made by 70 humans over several months and labeled it AI slop, and that label choked the video's reach. So think about the order this happened in. A studio makes a video saying they'd rather shut down than let a machine make their work. 9 months later, a machine decides a machine made their work. They took the video down. The plan is to change something and put it back up in a few weeks and hope it gets through the second time. A studio full of researchers is now sitting there guessing at what a filter wants, and this is where it stops being about one channel. Kurzgesagt has 24 million subscribers and actual contacts at YouTube they can call. Their views collapsed, and they had an explanation within days. A channel with 5,000 subscribers watching the same thing happen has no way to find out if a system did it, and no realistic way to even ask. Under that announcement, a bunch of other creators said they thought the same thing had happened to them, and their reach was completely dead. And this stuff is happening at a scale that's hard to picture. There's a Google research paper describing a detection system on a big video platform that shut down 50,000 clusters containing 130,000 fake spam channels in 6 months. Earlier this year, YouTube also started asking viewers directly whether the video they were watching felt like AI. The net is enormous, it's getting tighter, and there's nobody on the other end of it. So what do you actually take from this if you're making stuff? The first one is the practical one. Own the relationship with your audience, not just the numbers. Subscribers are something the platform lends you. An email list, a Patreon, a product people go out of their way to buy, that's actually yours. Kurzgesagt got hit with a distribution problem that would have killed most channels, and they were fine. And it wasn't because of the animation. It was because 2/3 of their money never came through the feed at all. Second, what protects you is being the only place people can get what you make, not being good. Good is everywhere, being the only one. Ask yourself honestly if someone who liked your last video has 40 other channels that give them the same thing. If they do, the algorithm has no reason to protect you, because it isn't protecting anybody, it's just matching. Third one, and this is the uncomfortable one. Being the only option doesn't last forever. Their style was so specific nobody could copy it, and then machines copied it badly, thousands of times, and the system built to catch those copies couldn't tell the real one apart from the fakes. They didn't lose to better competition, they lost to worse competition showing up in huge amounts. And the last one is something they've been saying for years that everybody hears as modesty. The hard part is the writing, not the camera, not the software, not the editing. Whatever you're making, the expensive part is the thinking underneath it. And that's the one part that still can't be faked or generated or flooded. That's it, really. It doesn't cost anything, it just takes way longer than anyone wants it to.